Sean Diddy Combs avoids heavy sentence in landmark legal case. What went wrong for prosecutors? After months of intense courtroom drama, the high-profile legal battle involving Sean Diddy Combs has finally concluded, and the verdict has left the public stunned. While the 55-year-old disgraced music mogul was convicted on 2 out of 3 charges, the result is being largely hailed as a legal victory for Combs, especially when considering the potential life sentence that once loomed over him. The outcome has ignited a firestorm of commentary from legal analysts and pop culture critics alike, many of whom believe the prosecution miscalculated the strength of their case from the very beginning. Despite the celebrity status of the defendant, prosecutors approached the trial as though they were dealing with a career criminal involved in organized crime, rather than a controversial figure whose past was riddled with rumors, lifestyle excesses, and celebrity scandal. This verdict is nothing short of a complete and total failure by the prosecution, said legal analyst Nima Rahmani in an interview with Radar Online. It will go down in history as the most expensive prostitution trial in the United States, and yet it ended with the defendant barely receiving a slap on the wrist. The case was originally built around accusations involving RICO statutes, laws typically reserved for targeting organized crime rings such as the mafia. These laws require evidence of a pattern of criminal enterprise, supported by so-called predicate acts, like kidnapping, extortion, or drug trafficking. In Diddy's case, however, prosecutors leaned too heavily on allegations of sexual misconduct and failed to solidify the more severe underlying crimes needed to sustain a RICO conviction. The prosecution's only real shot at a meaningful conviction was RICO, Rahmani continued. But to win a RICO case you need a predicate act. In this case there was no kidnapping, no clear-cut extortion. Instead, they banked on sex-related allegations that the jury ultimately found too ambiguous, especially given the amount of evidence pointing to some degree of consent. Among the accusers were Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former girlfriend, and another woman referred to as Jane Doe. Both women provided emotional testimony, recounting disturbing experiences and encounters with Combs. While their stories garnered public sympathy and media attention, they did not provide the kind of conclusive, corroborated evidence required for a conviction that could withstand appeals and scrutiny. Legal experts agree that the emotional weight of the testimonies wasn't enough to legally pin down Diddy under the charges brought against him. The jury, after weeks of hearing evidence and witness accounts, returned with a mixed verdict that significantly favored the defense. John W. Day, a veteran criminal defense attorney who has closely followed the case, echoed Rahmani's concerns. They presented a tsunami of evidence over several weeks, but the jury didn't buy the story. Trying to apply mob laws to a flamboyant rap star's lifestyle was always going to be a stretch, Day said. It was a gamble and they lost. The trial has also reignited discussions around celebrity justice, whether high-profile figures like Combs receive more lenient treatment under the law due to their fame and influence. While some argue that the system remains biased in favor of the rich and powerful, others point out that the prosecution's strategic missteps were the true culprits behind the underwhelming verdict. Despite the convictions on 2 lesser charges, Combs is unlikely to face serious jail time. Sentencing experts suggest he could serve as little as 2 years behind bars, a far cry from the life sentence that seemed possible when the charges were first filed. The public reaction has been mixed. Some feel justice was not fully served, especially in light of the testimonies of alleged victims. Others believe the outcome reflects a flawed legal strategy rather than a miscarriage of justice. Social media has been ablaze with debates, with supporters and critics of Diddy clashing over what the verdict truly represents. In the aftermath of the trial, Diddy has maintained a low public profile. His legal team has issued brief statements praising the jury for their careful consideration and fairness, while offering no comment on the possibility of future appeals or civil suits that could emerge. Meanwhile, legal observers are calling this case a cautionary tale for prosecutors seeking to make bold legal statements through celebrity trials. Overcharging, misapplying legal frameworks, and assuming a guilty verdict due to media narratives can all backfire, sometimes spectacularly. Whether this will be the last time Diddy sees the inside of a courtroom remains to be seen. But for now, the music mogul appears to have escaped the worst, walking away from a legal battle that many expected would end his freedom, and possibly his legacy.